Hello, this is Jonathan Mocktick with 1000 GM. I'm here with GM VAR Akobian, and we're going to be looking at round one of the St. Louis Norm event for our IMs.
Hello, everyone. This is round one and game between FM SETHURAMAN, who is IM Norm, and IM Wang. So white open up with d4, d5, c4, c6. So we have the Slav defense opening, one of the most solid openings for black, and very hard to get advantage. I've tried many different systems. I play the exchange variation, for example, and try to get some advantage there. Sometimes I manage to do it, sometimes it's not, So very, very solid opening choice. If somebody is looking for an opening against d4, I highly recommend maybe taking a look at the Slav defense because it's very solid, very compact, and hard to break. So knight c3. So we have this line here, and here this a6 line. Okay, it's called Chebanenko line, a6. And the point of this move is black is trying to get the b5 in here and try to get this. So white has to do something, and that's why we see SETHURAMAN playing the move c5 here. The idea behind it is just try to prevent b5 or at least discourage it, because if you play here, there is the en passant now. Okay, so and then the pawn structure is going to be ruined. So black played bishop f5 and now queen b3, putting pressure on b7, and it leads to a very closed position. As you can see, no pawns have been exchanged. h3, e3, h6, castles, knight a4, rook e8, rook fc1, queen c8. And now I like this position for white, but once again, it's very difficult to break because there are no breakthrough ideas. So he decided to go for knight b6 idea. Queen goes back to d8, a4. Now, if white puts the pawn, on a5, it's going to be really a big problem for black because this rook is going to be trapped for the rest of the game. So it's very important for black to play this move himself to have a little bit of freedom for the rook. So once again, if you allow white to play a5, then it's going to be a big advantage because your knight is going to be stuck here. If you take on b6, you take ab.
So the rook is
So he goes
entombed
here.
forever if that happens?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you have to take on b6, but then pawn takes b6 is going to give a strong pawn.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if let's say you go here, I go here, you take, and this is a problem because now ab, and this pawn is just too strong.
Yeah,
In a lot
it's
of
two
the
moves from
lines,
queens. Yeah.
in a lot of the lines, knight will come in here, and there is a sacrifice, and then there is b7. So the pawn on b6 is just monstrously strong. So that's why you can allow that, and that's why he played the move a5 to prevent that. Very good move. And now a5, and now I think once the knights come off the board, the task is just going to become a little bit easier. So here took, and all the bishops coming off. Rook b1, and here actually very important moment here. If white manages to play, let's say, rook here and queen, put some pressure, it's going to be very difficult for black. He's going to be buckled up to the defense. Okay,
It's like
for
an
a long time.
Alekhine gun.
So yeah, Alakine gone, but yeah, it's going to be defendable, but it's just going to be a lot of pressure. But instead, that's why he plays e5, and this is very important, guys. You have to create a counterplay, and that's why the e5 move is very important to open up the file. Now here, take, and now after g6, the players agree to draw because it's just absolutely equal position. And if you play queen f6, there's a rook e6 possibility, queen f3, queen g7. I mean, yeah, there is a little pressure here, but there's also pressure here, there's pressure here. So I think both players are going to be tied up to the defense. So I see something like this perhaps happening. So both players are going to be just tied up to the defense of each other's weaknesses. So nobody can attack more than,
Can I ask a question?
so there's no breakthrough here.
Can I
Yes,
ask
go
you,
ahead.
so what is like I know that Magnus's strength is like the very simple rook pawn end games that like look drawn and they plays 120 moves and can like break through. Like how can you tell the difference between like a position that's going to be like maybe micro maneuverable over 100 turns to try to win, or when you can just say certainly that this heavy piece endgame is a draw for
There's
sure.
no pieces here to maneuver. That's the problem. There's no plan in this position. You can't really
Okay,
even maneuver your pieces, like because you can maneuver this rook,
because
pawn
everyone's a
f8, rook
babysitter.
a4.
I see. So
Everybody is doing some kind of function, so that's why there is no room to really maneuver the pieces around. So that's why both players just analyzed, looked at each other like, okay, what we
okay,
do, it's going to be a draw here.
yeah, that
That's
makes
what
sense.
they call it the early day.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was interesting opening battle, guys. Slav defense, a good opening choice, and this was a closed line of the Chebanenko. I hope you enjoyed this game, and we'll see you soon for the next one.